Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Mark Clemens Postcards. It is that time of the week where we take a look back at what sold on eBay over the past week. And then we will also later on take a look at some gas station postcards from my personal collection. Ellie and Lucy, the postcard pups pictured here, give you a shout out. It is their day off, but they want you to know that they're thinking about you and they send you their best wishes. So let's get into what sold over the past week. As we take a look here, we see that we sold $719.65 worth of stuff on eBay. That consisted of 75 different items, and the average sale price per item was $9.60. Our take for the week was a little bit up from last week, as well as our average sale price. The number of items, though, was just a hair down, but overall, kind of an average week for us here. Now let's look at what made up these numbers. First of all, we have a view in Sapulpa, Oklahoma. This is the Glen oil field and earthen tanks. As you can see, lots of tanks here in the background. It says earthen tanks. I don't know. Does that mean they're made out of dirt? I don't know. That would be interesting. But anyway, there's a view of the oil field. This is a divided back card. It was posted in 1911, and it sold for $9.95. Next up, we have an advertising card. This is a card from Denmark's Fur Shop in Steubenville, Ohio. And if we look on the back, we can see that it is more like a postal card. It was posted in 1950. And here is a woman looking with a magnifying glass. It says the case of the missing customer. Who is this elusive lady? It's you, of course. So you need to get down to Denmark's Fur Shop and do some business. This card was listed for, let's see, did it sell for full price? I believe it did. I believe it sold for the full price of $7.95. Next up is an interesting real photo postcard. You see three men that at first glance appear to be making a human totem pole here. One on the bottom and one on his shoulders and one on his shoulders. But if we do look closely, we will see that the third man there is actually standing on the windowsill. He's not standing on this second man's shoulders, but kind of an interesting comical type of real photo. Looking on the back, we can see it's early 1900s. It was not posted, and it really doesn't tell us much about the people in the photo. But it was interesting nonetheless. I thought it was, so I put it up on eBay. I listed it originally for $19.95, and I took an offer of $14. Next up is a view in Reading, Pennsylvania. This is the American House Hotel. We have here a divided back era card, and it was not posted. That one sold for $5.95. Okay, next up we have a fellow who everybody knows. It is Smokey the Bear, and it says, "Only you can prevent forest fires." Here we see Smokey getting the mail at his mailbox as the postman has just left. And we can see some little bear cubs crawling on the mailbox. This is actually a Continental era postcard. It is postally unused. And I had several of these, six to be exact, and this was the last one. I am sold out of them now. This one sold for $4.95. Here's a view in Detroit, Michigan. This is the Solvay Process Company. I'm not sure what they process. This is their general offices. As you can see here, this is a divided back era card. It was posted in 1907. And that would be what I would consider like an industry-related postcard. And that one sold for $5.95. Here's something also that probably everybody recognizes. It is the Starship Enterprise from the TV series Star Trek. This card is actually of the model that they used in the TV series. There wasn't an actual Starship Enterprise, and I'm sorry if I'm breaking somebody's heart by saying that, but it was just a model, and this is a view of the model used. Again, it was a continental size postcard, and it was not posted. And that one I had listed for $4.95. I took an offer of $4. Here is a view in Plainfield, New Jersey. It says auto combination, chemical engine, and hose truck. Zoom in a little bit, get a little closer look. There you see the old-time fire apparatus there in front of the station. And that one sold, or that one I had listed for $14.95. I took an offer of $12. Divided back card, it was not posted. Next up is a lot of postcards. This is a lot of 100 assorted mixed eras, all U.S. states, towns, views, scenics, that kind of thing. Here's a view in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Altoona, PA, San Francisco, Blue Ridge Parkway in Virginia, a view in the Florida Everglades, and so on. This is, as I said, a pack of 100 postcards, and that sold for $21.95 plus shipping. Here is a real photo view. This is a bird's eye view of Roulette, PA. Zooming in, we can see this is just a small little hamlet somewhere in Pennsylvania. I don't even know where Roulette, PA is. We could see some houses and some barns and kind of a pretty rural area. Looking there, that is, as I said, a real photo. It is unposted, and the stamp box would indicate early 1900s. And that one sold for $14.95. Here's a view in Harlan, Kentucky, showing the business section. This is also a real photo postcard. It is not posted, but somebody had put a message on the back. This is a typical Kentucky town, and it's home, sweet home to me, signed Louise. So Louise passed this view on to somebody, and I sold it for $14.95. So thank you, Louise. Here is another lot of 100 cards. This particular lot is all linen comics and humor postcards. It could also be some Chrome era postcards in here. Just to give you a look at some of the cards in here. As I said, all comic humor related. I said that it could be some Chrome, but now I look at it, I believe, no, this is all linen views in here. Anyway, there's 100 of those comic cards, and like the previous lot, they sold for $21.95 plus shipping. Next, we have a what I would call a generic greeting. It says, just says at the top, Lac du Flambeau, Wisconsin. It doesn't even have the word greetings, but on the back it says, a doe escapes the summer heat while remaining close to her triplets. It was posted in 1959, but just kind of a generic scene here of the deer. And these do sell quite well. This one I had listed for $14.95. I took an offer of $12 on that. So that's pretty good for a picture of some deer. Next up, we have a laminated postcard. I have shown these before. I have quite a few of these, and I sell them occasionally. This one is of the Greek Catholic Church in Monessen, Pennsylvania. And what this was taken from an actual vintage postcard. It was copied. It was enlarged slightly, and it was laminated on each side with hard plastic. So it's a fairly rigid card, and it is waterproof. I sell, as I said, I sell these pretty frequently, and this particular one sold for $5.95. And the next one is the same thing, another laminated reproduction. This is a view in Derry, Pennsylvania, of McGee's Run in winter. I guess McGee's Run is like a little, was a creek or a stream there. And you could say the original card had been posted in 1908. This being just a copy. And this one sold for $5.95. According to this, I still have another copy of this same card. Next up, we have a trade card, a Victorian era trade card. This is the Ladd patent stiffened gold watch cases sold by D.A. McComb, who sold watches and fine jewelry and silverware in Bluffton, Ohio. Here we have a lad leaning against this sign, and he is surrounded by all kind of insects, grasshoppers and beetles and butterflies and bees and such. On the back, it talks more about the watch itself, and that particular trade card sold for $14.95. Next up, we have a buyer who bought two cards. This is the first one. It says view of Madison. This is in Madison on the Lake, Ohio, a view of the Madison Township Park. You can see here, see that like a beach here along the edge of water, and look over here looks like a baseball field. This is a real photo postcard. It was not posted. That one sold for $9.95. And the second card is at the same location, Madison Township Park in Madison on the Lake, Ohio. And here is a slightly different angle showing more of that beach along the water there. Also, real photo postcard, unused. And that one sold for $9.95 as well. So a total of $19.90 for those two. Next up, let's see a generic type greeting. This one, rather than a scene, has a flower on it. It says greetings from Myersdale, Pennsylvania. And it has a colorful flower on there. Looks like it was airbrushed. And this card is embossed, as you can see the imprint on the back. It was posted in 1909. And that one sold for $10.95. Next up, we have the high school in Scottdale, Pennsylvania. And I always say about high schools, not Scottdale, but high schools, almost everyone, and I do have to make that exception, almost everyone has gone to high school, so they are popular sellers. Here is a view of the school in 1909, a divided back card. It was posted. I listed it for $7.95, took an offer of $7. Here's an Elvis Presley postcard. This is a continental size card, so it is newer. 1994 is the date of the card itself. But there's a view of Elvis when he was in the Army, and it says Army Life at the bottom. That one was listed for $4.95, and I took an offer of $4. Here's an interesting Easter card. It says a joyful Easter tide, and it has some beautiful flowers on there, and it has little beads attached. So I'm not sure what the process for attaching these probably was done by hand, but you can see he meticulously placed all these little beads on here, and it made for quite an attractive card. This card was published by John Winch, which is a popular publisher for collectors. You can see here on the back, it is a divided back card. It was not postally used. It is embossed, as you can see the outline of the image on the front there on the back. Just a little bit of writing on it. That one sold for $7.95. Here is a railroad-related card. This is a map showing the Santa Fe Railroad routes across the United States. You can see the routes there and all the stops along the way. This card was published by Fred Harvey. If we look on the back, unfortunately, it's got some tape residue on the back, which mars it a little bit. But on the front, a pretty decent view. It does show a little bit of wear. This was published by Fred Harvey. If we look down here, it says red circles indicate Santa Fe hotels, dining, and lunchrooms under management of Fred Harvey. Fred Harvey is a popular publisher for collectors, particularly railroad collectors. And this one was listed for $7.95, and I took an offer of $6. Here we have a baseball player. This is a real photo postcard. The back tells us that it's early 1900s, but beyond that, not much. I don't know if this is the person's name here. I can't even quite read that. But on the front, we see a gentleman in his uniform, and he has the emblem on his uniform there of UB. The only thing I could find in trying to research that was the University of Buffalo, but I don't know for sure if that's who he played for. But anyway, this is a studio posed photo. I put this up for sale at $24.95. Does have a little damage up here, this corner. We got a crease, a couple little creases, a small tear on the edge. Doesn't affect the photo itself too much, but I listed that at $24.95, and that is what it sold for. Here's a view in Florida. This is the Boca Grande Hotel in Boca Grande, Florida. It is a divided back card. It was postally used. The stamp has gone missing at some point, but we still see a postmark there. It was posted in 1911. A nice old vintage view of that hotel. That sold for $14.95. Another hotel. This is the Hotel New Market in New Market, Virginia. This one is a white border era card. It is not posted, as we can see. And it is of the blue sky variety, meaning it has just a black and white image, but the sky has been tinted blue, which is an interesting effect that you will see on some postcards. That is called blue sky, and often on the back it will say blue sky, but it doesn't say that on this one. Regardless, this one was listed for $14.95, and I took an offer, and I think it was $12.50 for that one. Next up, we have a little town view. This is Walnut Street in Peabody, Kansas. And this is sort of a sepia tone card. If we look a little closer, appears to be a dirt street, and it goes off into the distance. And we're kind of a little bit away from the action here, but we can make out a couple. There's a horse-drawn carriage there on the left side of the street, another one there on the right, and looks like another one down the street. So a very old view of this town. Looking on the back, we can see it's undivided back, so it is very early 1900s, in the aughts, probably around 1905, 1906. And that one sold for $14.95. Here is a view in Falls Creek, Pennsylvania. It says a busy corner. And here on the corner we see General Merchants. It says General Merchandise. It does have a heavy kind of a postmark on here that mars the view a little bit. Looking on the back, it is divided back, and it was posted in 1911. That one I listed for $9.95, and I took an offer of $7.95. Here's a view in Ashburn, Georgia. A nice, colorful. Is this a linen? It is. It is a linen era card, as you could suspect from the coloring in it. And it just says street scene, so I don't know the name of the street, but it's a busy scene. Lots of automobiles parked there, so lots of shoppers out this particular day, and some traffic in the street as well. It is postally unused, and it sold for $7.95. It sold within just a few hours of me listing it, actually. Here is another generic greeting, as I call them. If someone out there has a better name for them, I would appreciate it, because I don't really know how to term these cards. But this one is from the Trading Post in Stoystown, Pennsylvania, and it's just one of your generic woodsy scenes with like a lake in the background. It is a linen card. It is unused. And this one I listed for $7.95. I took an offer of $6 on that one. We went back and forth a few times and settled on $6. Here's a view in Tyrone, Pennsylvania. This is the Armory and the Moose Building, where the moose live. And here we can see this is a linen card. It is unused. Got some old cars parked out in the street. That one sold for $5.95. Here's an interesting advertising card. It says two mothers up here. And here we see a cowgirl and a child on a horse. And here we see an Indian woman. I don't see a child with her, but two mothers meeting out on the prairie there or something. And on the back, we see it says walk over shoes, best for life's great journey. So Walk Over Shoes did a lot of cards like this. It doesn't really mention their product on the front, but just a little blurb on the back. And we can also see, looking down here, there's an artist signature here. It looks like TV Smith. So kind of a neat card. And that one sold for $4.95. Here we have a space-related postcard. This is astronaut John Glenn entering the spacecraft Friendship 7, as we can see on the capsule there. This photo was taken in 1962. And the Chrome era card, it was not posted. And it says Lieutenant Colonel John Glenn entering his spacecraft Friendship 7 on February 20th, 1962. On this historic occasion, Colonel Glenn became the first U.S. astronaut to orbit the Earth. So that's kind of a historic view there. And that one sold for $5.95. Here's an interesting card. This is in Cumberland, Maryland. This is the toll house near 6 Mile House. And this card is one of a series. If we look on the back here, in the upper corner, you can see it says Cumberland Road Series. And there are a series of these cards featuring different scenes along the Cumberland Road. This particular one is the toll house. And as you can see, it's a divided back card. It is not posted. And there's the view of the front. That one sold for $7.95. And the next card is related to the one we just looked at. If we look on it up in the corner, you will see here Braddock Road series, a different series, but also of a historic road by the same person. John Kennedy Lecoq is the one who, I guess, put this series of views together. And similarly to the previous one, we have a little description of what we're looking at on the front. This one says Cressup Town and Cumberland Roads near Cumberland, Maryland. So both of those are from series. I always look for this Braddock Road up in the top left corner, or the Cumberland Road series. They seem to sell well for me. Not real high dollar cars, but pretty consistent sellers. And this one, like the previous one, sold for $7.95, and both of those sold within hours of listing them. Next up, we have a view in Santa Barbara, California. This is the business block showing the Masonic Temple and the Chamber of Commerce. It is a white border card. It is unused, and it's sold for $6.95. And the last card for today is the Phi Delta Theta Fraternity at State College, Pennsylvania. And this is a white border era card posted in 20. Not exactly sure, but it looks like 1920. And I do sell a lot of cards from State College as a popular topic for me, being here in Pennsylvania, as well as this college was. This one sold for $5.95. So that's a look at some of the cards that sold this past week. And now we are going to take a look at some gas station postcards.
Howdy, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Let me fill up your tank with our high-octane gasoline. While I'm at it, I'll check your oil and clean your windshield. If you're hungry, we got cold drinks and snacks inside. Appreciate your business. Please stop in and see us again. Happy motoring.
Okay, so we are going to look at some gas station postcards. And oftentimes gas station postcards and, say, restaurant postcards kind of go hand in hand, because they often appear together in the same card. So sometimes it's hard to decide which on a particular card, whether I should put it in my restaurant collection or gas station collection. So you might notice some of these cards could probably go either way. But anyway, first up, we have the Franklin Tourist Cottages in Franklin, Louisiana. And as we zoom in here a little bit, off to the left there, we see a little restaurant. And it says, here's a sign for the cottages, which I assume you probably go back this way. Looks like cottages back there. But on the right side of the card, we have a service station. And it says Magnolia. I don't know, was that a type of gas or oil in those days? I don't know. But there is the station, there's an attendant standing out front, and there's the gas pumps. So that one ended up in my gas station collection, and that is a white border era card. Something a little newer. This is Lannon's Firebird Truck Terminal in Yulee, Florida. So you can see over here to the right, there's your gas pumps. It says Pure. And again, here's a restaurant off to the right. And here is the Pure sign that no doubt was out along the road to catch your eye. This is a Chrome era card. Next up, an older black and white view. Again, probably a white border card. Or maybe, no, this might be an early Chrome. It does have a white border. This says Nelson's Homestead Station, U.S. Route 219 in Kane, Pennsylvania. So let's get in a little closer on that. Here we see a golf sign, and here are the pumps under the portico there where you pull in to get gas. And again, it says lunch over here, so we do have a restaurant that in conjunction with the gas pumps. And that is a nice looking card. Here's an interesting one. This is Geronimo's Castle in Bowie, Arizona. And it is also a Greyhound bus depot. But let's zoom in a little bit here. Here we see Geronimo's Castle in the shape of an Indian teepee. It says cafe and curios and beer. It is air conditioned. It has Elderbrow beer sign above the door. Here's your gas pumps over here, standard. So, a lot going on in this picture. It doesn't say what road this might be along, but that is a really cool linen card there. Next up, we have another linen era card. This is Robert's Grill in Jessup, Georgia. This could just as easily gone into my restaurant collection, but the standard oil and gas pumps on either side of the restaurant apparently convinced me to go into the gas station collection. So, not busy at the moment, but it will be. Next up, an interesting one. This is the world's tallest service station. This is Perron's service station, and it is located in Hearne, Texas. And you can see the huge tower there, and then up here is a sign for Star Tires, and also says Perron's there. Over here to the left we have gas pumps. Look at that, gas was 26 cents, 26.9 for gas. And this postcard looks like it was posted in 1959. That was the price of gas then. So interesting. Tallest service station. Not really sure what this tower has to do with the service station, but they made that claim, so I guess it's up to you to dispute it. Next up is another card of the same place. This is Perron's service station in Hearne, Texas. Just a little bit different view from a different angle. There is the tower again. In this card, it doesn't have the Star Tire signs up there like the other one did. If you notice over here, we've got the Star Tires signs up there. This one doesn't have that. So, but otherwise, we can see some other things. In this one, gas was $23.9, so it was even cheaper in this view. Let's see if this one has a date on it. This one also says 1959, so at some point the price of gas went up a few pennies. And everybody was probably complaining about that 3-cent jump. Today it's not uncommon for gas to jump quite a bit more, like $1 a gallon at a time, but a 3-cent jump back in those days probably was enough to get people angry. Here we see the pumps out front. It says Quality Plus Economy, and a sign for Premier. Also says a sign for Truck Stop. So an interesting card, an interesting place there at Perron's. Next up, we have a black and white card. This would be, it's glossy, it's a chrome era card. This is Myers Esso Service Station in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, on Route 30, which would be the Lincoln Highway in Lancaster. We'll zoom in just a little bit. Obviously not taken at a busy moment. Here you see the gas pumps out front. Got some tires there, probably do some service work there in those garage bays. Next up is Jack's One-Stop Service in Brownfield, Texas. Not the highest quality photo here. It's a little on the blurry side. But you can see Jack owns a golf station. He's got that Art Deco type service station look going on there. It says Jack's Garage up there. They got washing, golf flex, golf signs. Got some oil out here by the pumps. He's filling up somebody's truck, it looks like, at this moment. And this Jack's was located on Highway 380. Another black and white card. This is Smith Myers Service Station and Restaurant, rooms and cabins. And this was located in Cresson, Pennsylvania, off Route 22. Familiar with that area. They sold Atlantic gas. There's the big sign there above the pumps. Got a car at the pumps as we speak, and somebody parked here. So probably in the restaurant. So another full service station there. Now get something more colorful. This is Carl A. Wright's Cabins, Restaurant, Garage, Service Station, Barbershop. They pretty much try to think of everything there. Even a barbershop. And it's a multi-view card, as you can see. Linen Era. This was located in Van Wert, Ohio. Van Wert on Route 30. Again, that would be a Lincoln Highway view. And kind of a neat card. Zoom in a little bit here. 25 to 35 cent dinners. So that's a good deal. There's your gas pumps. So, again, a card that could probably be filed in multiple categories, but in my case ended up under gas stations. Back to a black and white view. This is Hambleton Service Station on the Lincoln Highway East in Strasburg, Pennsylvania. Let's zoom in. Here we have Lee Tires, and probably we're do some service work over here. Off to this side we have our gas pumps and the service station. Probably could at least get a snack and a drink in here. There's an attendant out front. Quaker State Oil. Everything you'd expect to see at a service station. Here we see Barnhart's Esso station in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Looks like for some reason the Esso has tried to been blotted out up there. I don't know why that was done. Maybe they changed oil companies and were selling a different kind of gas, and they just didn't want to have the card reprinted. I don't know. But you can see we have lunch, coffee, so the regular restaurant going on there, as well as providing gas to the motorist. That's a nice, colorful Linen Era card. Back to a black and white view. This says Winks Sky View, 1,600 feet above sea level and a 75-mile view. Kind of taken from a distance, so if we zoom in a little bit, there's Winks Skyview Restaurant. And then over to this side, we see Winks Skyview Service Station. There are your pumps there. Got some vehicles parked there. And this one was located in Port Matilda, Pennsylvania, near State College. Next up, we have the Rainbow Court. Now we can see it says Rainbow Court, although here on the card, somebody misspelled this as Rainbow Court, but we won't hold them accountable for that. It says Two Spooks with a question mark, Two Spooks Service Station. Not sure who those two spooks are, but this is kind of a real photo postcard, which is nice. Nice clear view there as we zoom in. Quaker State Oil. Oh, here's the spooks on the wall here. You can see them look like ghosts. And Great Bet sign. There's your pumps. Phillips 66. And sign for Rainbow Courts. Imagine that's these little cabins you can see in the background there. And it's got a little description typed here. It says Two Spooks complete service, gas, oil, good accommodations, price right, trailer parking, free Black Hills information. So this must be in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Yes, down here it says Rapid City, South Dakota. Fill your water containers with pure spring water. For complete service, see Mo or Smo. So I guess the Two Spooks are named Mo and Smo at Rainbow Auto Service. I think this is out of today's cards, this is going to be my favorite one. Next up, we have Fisher's Complete Service Station and Ford Dealership. So this is a combination of things. Usually it's a restaurant and a service station. In this case, it's an auto dealer and service station. Here we have Ford Sales and Service and Esso Gas. So a little bit less ordinary combination of things, but kind of neat nonetheless. That was Fisher's, was located, let's see, in Newark, New Jersey. Next up, we have a Chrome Era card. This is in Southampton, Long Island, New York. This is the first service station on eastern Long Island South Shore, Milton, Ernstine, and Son. So, I guess that's just Ernstine's service station. There's your sign for mobile gas and pumps, covered pumps. Yes, up here under the roof line we see Milton, Ernstine, and Sons. Got a little bit of a store back here. Maybe you could grab something to eat or just get a snack, cold drink. Here's a service area over here. So kind of a family-run business there. Nice Chrome Era view. Next up is a Linen Era view. This is in Murdo, South Dakota. So we return to South Dakota at Geisler's Phillips 66 service. And this is at the Crossroads of America, Highway 16 and 83. Zooming in a little bit. Again, probably a restaurant over there. Over here looks like an ice cream cone, so you could get ice cream. Here where you can gas up, check your oil and such. So got it all going on there at Geisler's. Here is the Melrose Park gift shop and gas station, obviously. Zooming in a little bit on that one. Lots to see here. Some Coca-Cola signs. There's your gas pumps. American sign. Melrose Park Eats. Looks like a neon sign above the door. Lots of stuff sitting out on the porch, no doubt for sale at the gift shop. Got us a 57 Chevy sitting outside there. And a pretty neat chrome view. Melrose Park gift shop was located in Saluda, North Carolina. Next up is a lot to see here. This is an Esso station. This is the Southerner Restaurant, as you can see back here. The Southerner Restaurant, lots of old cars parked out front. Big coffee cup there, dripping some coffee down. And over here to the left is a little Esso station. This was located in Elm City, North Carolina. So again, this card could be either a restaurant topic or a gas station topic, either way. But a nice chrome card, lots going on there. Next up, this is Shipways Inn and Tourist Camp on the National Highway, Route 40, top of Green Ridge Mountain between Cumberland and Hagerstown, Maryland. So Shipways Tourist Camp, kind of lost in the distance there. Let's zoom in a little bit. There's the building, no doubt where you could stay in rooms. And I have to be honest with you, I don't know why this is in gas stations, because I don't even see a gas pump in here anywhere. So, must have gone into my collection mistakenly. Probably should be filed under other roadside items rather than this one. But a neat card anyway. What else we got? Here's another nice chrome card. Look at this one. This is Jones Restaurant and Service Station, and it is located in south of Greencastle, Indiana. And that's a nicely composed view there. Lots of old cars there, and you can see the building, the restaurant to the right, the service station here to the left. There's a big Standard Oil sign. A sign like this on this post and everything would be a pricey item today for collectors. It even looks like a phone booth here on the far left. The only thing I don't actually see is the gas pumps themselves, but we know they're there. Maybe way over here to the right. Got some gas pumps, just seeing the edge of them. But I just like the composition of this card. It's nicely framed and lots to see and look at, and it's really emblematic of this time frame. Like that one a lot. And I guess this will be the last card. I did have one more, but it wouldn't go through the scanner, so we'll have to pass on it for today. This is the top of Sidling Hill Mountain. Again, we're on the National Highway in Maryland, Route 40, between Cumberland and Hagerstown. Top of Sidling Hill. And here we see Imperial. I would guess this is like the Imperial lunchroom. It says light lunch, hot coffee, ice cream, pop. Looks like you can also rent rooms there, some old vehicles. And here's your gas pumps on the right. Can't see them there. Can't really make out what kind of gas that is, but that's okay. Some antique vehicles there, 20s era vehicles, no doubt. This is a white border card. And an interesting view of what we would see on a roadside stop during this era. So that's going to finish it up for gas stations for today. And I thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do that as well. And as always, we'll see you next time.